and I was just getting into it, and I was just in this grateful mood, and I'm going, I'm so grateful, and I had gratitude to the left of me, to the right of me, to the top of me, and Eden and Lily, my little grandkids, were in the room with me, right? And so Eden's going, gratitude to the left, he goes, the walls of gratitude, gratitude to this, gratitude to that, and Lily's watching TV, and she goes, could you take the gratitude to common ground? It was, she's 5, right? She's just, 5 years old, and Eden and I were just feeling it, but, she was watching these cartoons, and Dora had precedence over, gratitude. But, I just loved it. I just loved it, because it makes me feel so happy that we are alive, that I can come here, that I can be with you, that I can get up in the morning, and I can be so grateful for precious human birth, that you were born. Nancy, that you were born. All of you. It's not even a word. It's just a feeling that runs through you, if you know what I mean. So that's what I thought about. When we were talking about self-reflection today, I thought all week about this. And what came was this incredible gratitude, of my life, of what's been, what's to be, about everything in my life. And so, Judy said it, it's, Socrates said, examine life, is it worth living? And I truly believe that is when we look at our lives, when we truly look at it all, we see the blessings. We see the blessings. And I'm talking about looking at our own life. See, if you're like me, sometimes you look at everybody else's life, and examine that. I do that sometimes with my kids and their husbands, and I examine their life. But I'm talking about examining right here who we are, what we have given, the troubles that we've caused, and the things that we have given out to other people, what we received in life. Looking at all of it. Looking at all of it. So I put this picture up here because there's a simple haiku. A haiku is this Japanese poetry, and it's only a few letters, few words, but there's deep, deep meaning in it. And to me, this says it all. It's maple leaf, showing front, showing back, falling down. It was written by Ryokan. And what it says is that when the guy who wrote this, Ryokan, Japanese sage, it was said that when he saw that leaf, the minute he saw the leaf falling down, that he realized that he'll never conceal any part of himself. That the leaf shows its back, the leaf shows its front, and he will always reflect on who he really is, not just the good part of him. He'll look at every part of him. It changed his life, and he vowed to be different from that point on. And so that's what this call is to look at ourselves today, to really go within and to look and see who we really are, examine who we are. So many times we get so busy with our lives. We go from this active life to this passive life. We go home and crash. We go home and watch TV. We go home and do our stuff instead of reflecting and saying, what happened today? Who was I today? What did I do? How did I be today? Most important question you can ask yourself when you go to bed at night. Who was I today? What did I do? How did I be? I know that doesn't make sense, does it? How did I be? But that's what I'm talking about. Looking at who you were today. And the book that we're working with is called Naikan. Naikan means self-reflection in Japanese. It's self-reflection. And he has all sorts of different practices. And daily Naikan is it's a practice of self-reflection, looking at yourself daily and asking yourself these 3 questions. And the questions that you'll ask yourself are, what have I given? What have I given today in life? What have I received from life? And what troubles have I caused? And when we start to look at that, you realize how grateful we are to even be here. How grateful that we have the care and the support of each other, of the universe, that we're not in it alone, that we're not in it alone at all. See, sometimes when we look at all of our life, here's what I find out, is sometimes when I don't do this, that I go about my day and I focus on the bad thing that happened, right? I get all of this emotional stew over the one thing that happened instead of reflecting on the good things that happened through the day. The great things that happened. but we focus on the one bad thing. We do that with people too in relationships. I was thinking about my son-in-law, and my daughter's not here, so I can talk about him. I can talk about him because I love him dearly. But there was a time when all I did was see the negative qualities about him, the negative qualities. And when I realized that I probably would lose my daughter if I didn't shift, I started to go inside and I prayed and I said, God, let me see the good in him. Let me see the qualities. And I swear to God, Judy and I talk about it all the time, he's got some great qualities. He's a wonderful man. He's got the other qualities going on too, but we all do. We all do. So I focused on that, and I see him so much differently. And that's an invitation to you. If there's difficult people in your life, focus on the good qualities. Focus on the good qualities. Family, friends, loved ones. Focus on the good in life. We do that with you can do it with that. That's what daily Naikan is. It's being able to do it with relationships. It's being able to do it with even illnesses. Do it with everything in life is reflection. Doing it with reflection. It's huge. You know, I think you read it, that our brain is focused. Actually, it's kind of programmed to pick out the problems. You know, if we look up in the ceiling, you know, and it's beautiful, most of us go to the one hole in the wall or something, or hole in the ceiling. You know, we see the negative. And so our brain is programmed that way. And when we make the shift, when we shift ourselves, when we actually decide we're going to see the good, we change those neural pathways into our brain. So that's why, you know, gratitude to the left, gratitude to the right. You know, that's what I'm saying. You get the feeling. It changes the brain structures so that the neural pathways are there. You're creating new pathways when you put yourself in this energy of gratitude. That's what it means, the energy of gratitude. So the questions, what have I given? What have I received? What troubles have I caused? Those are the 3 questions that we'll focus on. You get to see your whole life when you do this process. When you step back and you realize, wow, I'm not in this alone. You know, there was one time, and I looked all over the internet, but I read an article, and it was how much went into a cup of coffee that you have in the morning. And it was this huge list, huge. It was everything from the person who planted or who picked the beans, all the way to the person who sold them, to the cup that was made just for you, and this huge list of what went into, just so you could have a cup of coffee. And I got to thinking about that. What have I received? And I did the exercise, and my pages were so long. You know, when you think about what you have received from people to make your life better, when you get up in the morning, you have clean sheets, hopefully. Clean sheets, you know. You have, I don't know, with me, it was my animals. They came up and they greeted me. I had fresh coffee. I had a hairdryer. I had a spin toothbrush. Somebody thought of that. I mean, that's great. You know, all these little things that we forget that somebody put in to make our life better. You're a total of something that is there because somebody else helped you. Somebody else was there for you. And so we have so much to be thankful for. And so we have to look then, too, what are we given life? You know, we should be balanced. What have we given? So I looked, and my given was less than what I received, because I know that you can't outgive life. You can't outgive God. Anything that you give will never be enough. Feeding the animals, I took my grandkids in. I paid bills for common ground. I did the finances. I tipped. You know, you think of everything that you can do, and it will never be what you've given. And then you have to look at what troubles you caused. That was kind of hard to me. I went, I don't cause trouble. You know, I don't cause trouble for people. But actually what it means is, what impact have you had on life? And I kind of got to thinking about that. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in the workshop. But I think about the environment and the impact that we have on the environment with the plastic bottles and the things we try to recycle. But just walking, you know, just being alive is an impact. And we need to realize it. And that helps us to realize our gratitude for life, is to be able to do that. I don't know about you guys, but this drives me crazy. Especially with cosmetics, do you notice that they're wrapped in these plastics, and it takes forever to get them off, and how much there is for one little like mascara? It's all wrapped in these great big plastics. Costco does it. And I'm thinking, wow, you know, my whole garbage can was filled with all this plastic just from like a mascara and a piece of makeup. That's the kind of thing I'm thinking about, that we actually, make an impact on life. And it's something that we should realize and we should acknowledge. It's important. The truth is that when we know that we are grateful, when we really understand that it takes all of us, to become successful, when it takes all of us to be who we are, we realize that the boundaries then between us are really formidable. That I'm not just me and you're not just you, but we are so connected. We're connected together. And that we've created our own boundaries. Me, my house, my car, my life, my friends. And the truth is if we believe what we say, if we start to reflect, we see that we're entwined. We see that everything that I am, you are too. That we are each other. Why is it that when we heard about the shootings, we all cried together? Why is it when someone starts to laugh in here, we all laugh together? It's because we're connected. And that's what self-reflection does. It helps us to know that we aren't in this alone, that we are connected. It frees us from this burden of self-importance, from going from this me to the we, to all of us. It's important. We have to let go of who we think we are and realize that we are much bigger. We are much bigger than the boundaries that we put up. We need one another. I mean, how can we not be grateful for each other? Can you imagine? What if it was just Judy and me up here and you weren't here? We need you. We need you. Do you see what I'm saying? That anything you do, you need somebody else. You can't go it alone. Of course, we've done that a few times. We forced our family to come. You know what I'm saying? But we need each other. We need each other. Anything you do, you need another. So this year, this is beginning of the year. It's time to take inventory. It's time to look at our lives. It's time to see who we are, what we have received from this incredible, beautiful life instead of focusing on what we didn't get. It's time for us to look at what we have given. And it's time to look at the impact that we've had on this life. So that's the call, is to open up, receive with great gratitude, to give with great love. What is your offering for life? What is your offering to life? And my answer would be to be present for it. Not to ignore it. Not to be in your head when a beautiful flower, a beautiful sunset, or a beautiful person comes up to you. Not to be in your head, but to give them your full presence. That's the biggest gift that you can give to life. And look at where we might do better. So my prayer for us this day, always, is to see life, to be present with life, to embrace our humanity, and to express our divinity. Thank you.